Pittsburgh is a city of neighborhoods, each with its own rites and rituals. A patchwork of cultures that took shape over a century ago. Back then, the city was a beacon of hope and possibility for people from all over the world, offering the promise of work, prosperity, a new life. Pittsburgh could have been another company town gone to beautiful ruin. But something happened. The city started to pop up on lists of the most livable places in America. It became attractive to a new wave of people from elsewhere looking to reinvent themselves and make a new world. And so we find ourselves asking the same questions we ask in other cities in transition. Are the new arrivals, new money, new ideas saving the city or cannibalizing it? Who will live in the Pittsburgh of the future? And will there be room for the people who stayed true, stuck with it their whole lives?
Oh man, I'm very happy about this. Sausage and peppers, one of my favorite things. All right.
Bocce, the ancient game of kings. Throw the little ball, try and get the other balls close. Closer than the other guys.
Shenton.
Gene, Uncle Gene, this is Anthony Bourdain.
How do you do?
103 years old, 103 years old.
Looking good.
He goes up and down these bocce courts faster than anybody else.
Ah, delicious. This is a weakness of mine. You know, they have these street fairs in New York where they do the sausage and pepper stands. I cannot walk past one of those things without getting them.
That's more than anything else.
So, how long have you lived in this community?
78 years.
So, your whole life? Now, the first wave of Italians who came here from Italy, why did they come here? They come here for steel jobs, coal?
Actually, trade. I think they come here more for the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plumbers, bricklayers, any kind of trade like that.
Some Italians said that they were told to come over here and they were going to find the roads paved with gold. They said they didn't tell us we had to build them first.
Yeah. How's the neighborhood changed over the years? Still predominantly Italian-American, or?
Yeah. Not as much as it was, but still more Italian than anything else.
Well, for 35 years or so, it was a tough time for Pittsburgh. Why'd people stay?
Family. Familia.
I tell people, when you come to Bloomfield, don't talk about anybody because we're all connected somehow.
All right. On you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Don't hit nothing. Go around. That's great.
Ball! All room for four. Hey.
Uncle Eugene can take care of it.
Oh, man.
How old is he?
103-year-old Uncle Gene ruins my dreams of bocce immortality.
Come on, Orr.
And the weather, as if on cue, turns bad. An augur of doom, perhaps.
That's a shame.
And God himself appears to align himself against me, hurling all that beautiful zalzich and meatballs out of the cold, wet ground.
That's still good. That's still good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got to eat. Everybody's talking now about a Pittsburgh Renaissance. There are artists coming, there are new restaurants. Somebody's making money.
Yes.
Money's definitely coming in. Is it lifting all boats?
No, it is not. The new Pittsburgh attracts new people, but it doesn't change the life for those workers who were left behind and kind of spit out.
This is the Hill District, traditionally African American. The numbers here do not indicate a renaissance. Black homes take in half the income of their white neighbors, and African American youth are 6 times as likely to be arrested, go through the system from which many can never break free. When activist Salahuddin was growing up here, the neighborhood was thriving, the golden age Harlem of Pittsburgh.
They used to call this city hell with the lid off. The mills ran 24 hours a day. I grew up at a time when most adult men in the neighborhood, in the morning, I saw them getting up and going to work. My dad, for example, dropped out of school, but was still able to find work that paid enough to raise a family. My mother had 12 children.
And your dad was able to raise 12 kids.
That's right.
On that. Wow. That was a very different America.
That was a very different America.
How you doing, Solid?
Good, good. This is where I live. This is where I grew up. All of this area, this whole flat parking lot area that you see, this is where we lived. Devastation. They just completely devastated our whole neighborhood.
In the 1950s, the city came up with a plan to revitalize the Hill District by leveling large swaths of it. 8,000 residents, including Salah, were displaced. And instead of new housing, the land was used to build a hockey arena.
Difficult, painful memories of what used to be, and now we see suburbanites coming in to have a good time, visit the Penguins. They don't live here, they just play here, and they don't know the pain that this playground caused.
What's the missing component here?
What's missing is an economic plan that includes everybody, not just the techies and the computer geeks, but regular people.
By day, a mild-mannered dentist in training, but at night, she becomes, well, a superhero. Brittany Baker is a star of the International Wrestling Cartel. Tonight, she defends her title in a battle of the Wrestling Titans. Boyfriend Adam Cole hopes to win a championship of his own.
What do you think it's big here?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, what is it about Pittsburgh that...
Pittsburgh is a big sports city in general. We have the Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers.
They're so proud of their sports teams.
They are.
They're also very proud of their wrestling organization.
Everyone's independent. No one's like contracted. You work where you want to work and how you want to work. The big town, small city vibe.
So the fact that it's not WWE is a point of pride.
Yep. To me, wrestling fans are the most passionate fans of any form of sport or entertainment.
I will confess to you, that I took a dim view of professional wrestling. Like I thought, okay, yeah, it's not real. It's like these outrageous characters. I don't get it at all. And my daughter started to get really into it with her best friend. So I got tickets to WWE in New York. And I go in, I'm like, I want to wear a bag on my head because I'm like really embarrassed to go to this thing. This is going to be totally lame. Well, 5 minutes into this thing, I think this is like the greatest show on earth. It's physically very, very demanding, and more to the point, it's super dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, most wrestlers get really busted up. Some of these pile drivers, neck cranks, body slams. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You can get that wrong.
It's
bad.
Everything can be gone in a second.
Wrestling is inches in many scenarios. Like you said, with like a pile driver, if you're off even by a little bit, that could be a broken neck.
A lot of trust.
Yeah.
Right before he's about to go out and wrestle, I always grab him, maybe like give him a kiss, be like, be safe, be safe.
Every aspiring wrestler, since the great local hero Bruno Sammartino, needs nourishment. In this case, kielbasa, sauerkraut, some pierogies, and a side of molten mac and cheese.
Oh, I should ask. Are you the heavy? What, is it the heavy or the what's the bad guy called?
The heel.
The heel.
The heel.
Are either of you the heel or are you the?
She's a big baby
I'm a
face.
mega baby face.
heel.
Yes.
So babyface is who everybody wants to win.
Yes.
You're a heel?
I am.
So what qualities is one looking for in a heel?
It's just being someone that an audience member either doesn't want to be or wants to see get their ass kicked.
So overconfident.
Yep.
Narcissistic.
Yep.
Sneaky.
Uh-huh.
It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
You might be good. You got it.
You could be a
great
heel tomorrow.
heel.
Yeah.
Comes naturally. Is it a sport or is it more of a cathartic emotional experience? Because it goes beyond sport. There's nuance there. There are tortured souls who are struggling with the good and evil in themselves.
Wrestling is live theater, it's sport, it's a rock concert, it's all this stuff wrapped into one. I think when people realize that pro wrestling has more in common with Game of Thrones than it does UFC, they accept it more and they appreciate it for what it is.
This is not my town anymore. When I was young and growing up, we're shooting craps and chased by the cops. Now I'm sitting around with a bunch of people talking about hops. This is not my town anymore.
The town of Braddock is where Andrew Carnegie built his first steel mill in the 1870s. By the turn of the century, he bought another one up the river, the Carey Furnaces. These smoke and fire-belching behemoths were the heart of a steel-producing industry that spread throughout the Monongahela River Valley, generating wealth and power to the few and a decent living to many.
When tomorrow comes, you'll have a better so-called today. So your thinking of the day will decide your destiny and your future. And if you don't succeed, it's your own fault because you didn't take control of what you think. Because what you think is going to decide what you do, and what you do is going to decide what you get. That's all for today, fellas. Let's go to work.
For the last 40 years, Tony Bourdain has been making documentaries about the fate of the working class in Braddock. He grew up here during the town's heyday, the 40s and 50s, before leaving to go to film school.
Why'd you come back?
Why'd I come back? I was gone from like 68 to about 75. Then I came home and I saw everything's decaying even more. And the people I hung out with, like this Sal, Carilla, and other guys, they were these really characters.
She could push the button on me. No one's gonna push the button on me. Nobody. Nobody. The only guy who can do that is that guy up there, JC. JC, my man. He's one.
A lot of World War II people that were starting to die off. And I was really like, this is going to disappear. And industry's going away. So I didn't know what else to make films about, so I just started documenting it. And I just wanted to capture it and get some of these characters on film and make them mythical.
But you stayed in Braddock because Braddock was your subject.
It was my subject, and I thought, okay, what if I move? If I move to Los Angeles, maybe I'd get a job in industry, but what if I got stuck working on a Love Boat my whole life? You know?
Well, yeah, that would be the nightmare.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
In the mid-20th century, the population of Braddock was 20,000. Today, it's down to 2,000, more than 40% of whom live below the poverty line.
No, this is where I went to junior high school.
Closed?
Yeah, closed.
So who's moving in? Is anyone moving in now?
Nobody's moving into Pittsburgh, actually.
Well, I thought you had all these tech jobs coming in.
Yeah,
Google and Uber. And...
You know, all that stuff is coming in, but they sort of do this upbeat bullshit about people coming in. If it wasn't for some 30,000 immigrants, the population would have dropped even more.
Now, this is the brewer.
Right. Yeah, they've done really well with this place.
Well, who drinks there? I mean, are they locals?
No, it's too expensive, $7 a beer. There's people coming in on bicycles, grabbing a beer, getting some from the taco truck, and they want to sort of have like the Wire experience, you know? Yeah, I was in Braddock having a beer, you know, sort of they're giving a little cred to their lives, I don't know. And it's all sort of, you know, white businesses.
In 1988, the state classified Braddock as financially distressed, their term for bankruptcy, a status it still holds today.
This is still working?
This is still working. It's the only plant working in the whole Mon Valley. This is my dad worked for 46 years. The last time I was there, it looked like a spaceship. It was also modernized. There's probably 500 people doing the work. You know, when my dad was there at 5,000.
So what do you think it's going to take? Or do you think it's just going to die?
I figure we're in the last stages of capitalism.
But you're talking socialism.
Yeah, I'm talking socialism, yeah.
When the magical workers' paradise arrives, will Braddock be here?
Will Braddock be here? Wish there was like a simple answer to all this. I'll die before I actually see what happened. I'm not going to know the story, and it really bothers me. It's the only thing I hate about the thought of dying, is I don't know what the story's going to be.
Braddock, Pennsylvania, sustained a real traumatic unraveling that was common in Rust Belt communities and towns, but ours was a particularly severe example of that.
Average income?
We're around 20,000, so
it
was substantially below the Pennsylvania average.
I'll have mothers that will call me on a Monday, and you know, by Friday they're going to be out of food to feed their 3 kids, and this happens quite regularly.
John Fetterman does not look like your typical mayor, and he isn't. He came to Braddock in 2001 to help at-risk youth get their GEDs and ran for office here in one of the most depressed towns in the state 4 years later. His wife, Giselle, is from Rio, and she runs a nonprofit that provides food and essential supplies for more than 1,500 families each month.
A lot of people in this country are angry. They feel that their anger has not been acknowledged in any way. And frankly, I think they're right.
Yep.
There was a sense, particularly in rural white America, of aggrievement, that nobody's listening, nobody's caring about them.
Well, I mean, Western PA played a pivotal role in helping elect Donald Trump, and he turned Pennsylvania red for the first time since '88, and did it so with a margin of about 44,000 people, a lot of whom, as you referenced, are disaffected Democrats. Somebody phrased it to me where it's like, if the economy's not going to work for me, then I don't want it to work for anybody.
How does that manifest itself on a local basis for you?
It's an honor to be involved, and I hope whoever it is that's next realizes that you need to go outside your community's borders to bring help in, and that's what I've tried to do.
That means people like 4-time Super Bowl champion Franco Harris. And if you're wondering how he could help, you might be surprised by the answer.
Franco and I hope to be growing medical marijuana about a block from here. We put in an application for a large grow facility here in our community, which would be a real economic shot in the arm, and it's been a real honor to partner with someone like Franco.
Why is this a cause for you?
I'm a believer in medical marijuana because of pain management. And I've run into many ex-players who deal with pain management. And right now, the alternatives don't look good, and we have a lot of problems with the alternatives.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
That they've had.
You know, Western PA has been ravaged by the opioid crisis,
Right.
and it positions us for the eventual legalization of marijuana, and
It would also pull Braddock out of Act 47, so we would no longer be fiscally bankrupt.
Kevin says he has ambitions that go beyond turning a profit. His restaurant hopes to provide tuition-free training, and they're partnering with a local urban farm that employs high school students to grow produce in the shadows of the old steel mill. And though we are talking a swank, high-end restaurant designed to attract the moneyed classes from out of town, locals will be offered steeply discounted meals.
So this is beautiful grass-fed beef short ribs sitting on a bed of lightly blanched milkweed buds on top, a bunch of overwintered sun-choked chips.
Awesome.
That's the compliment.
Yeah. So what happens if everything works out the way you want it to? Meaning people are driving from all over the state, they're flying into Pittsburgh from all over the country. The parking lot is full of places, packed and fully booked every night. Then what happens?
You're moving towards the G word, and
which word? No, not yet.
Braddock is gentrification proof, essentially. Our biggest challenge has been abandonment, not people being displaced. To directly answer your question, Chef, long after I've shuffled off this mortal coil, the work will never be done here. This is a decades-long process.
If you head east 30 miles from Pittsburgh, you'll find yourself here in New Alexandria. It's a whole other world. No tech incubators here or fears of gentrification. Just good heartland fun on a Friday night. Family, fried dough, and demolition. Brooke Davis grew up a few towns over from here. Tonight, she's driving in the modified class, which means these cars ain't exactly street legal. The winner gets $900.
So how long have you been doing this?
Like getting into it, like 6 years.
And how did it all begin?
Well, my dad, him and my uncle, ran back in like the 80s and 90s, and it's just been something I grew up with, so.
I mean, the only other thing we really do for fun is we four-wheelers, razors, side-by-sides, and hunt.
Chris Quenzler is a welder and considered one of the best demo mechanics in the area.
What are the rules as far as the vehicle itself? I mean, can you build, theoretically, you're allowed to build some monster road warrior, thing with some guitar dude on the front and special hidden reinforcement and spikes
No,
and
it's
shit?
not death race. It's not death race.
But Brooke is one of the best girl drivers, female drivers that I've seen.
Wait a minute, what's the difference between male and female drivers? Is there any?
There's not very many females that actually compete with the guys.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great to see some big meathead fall to his knees sobbing after you just totally
Maybe.
destroyed?
Depends on
Some
who
guy's
they
been
are.
talking shit all week.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That would have to be good.
Yeah.
So tonight, are you going
Probably I'm the only girl that's running out there with
Well,
you guys.
let us hope that tonight is your night. I'm going to give it another shot.
Yes, cheers. Thank you.
Point of the game is
Be the last car running.
right. Now, what's the sweet spot? Where do you want to hit a
Wheels
car?
and tires.
Yeah.
Wheels and tires.
Yeah. I like to look for the weakest car, get them out of the way first. I'm running with guys that have been running for a really long time. Sometimes they think I'm an easy target. Maybe I might get scared, quit. It's definitely not like that. I can battle it out to the end. I'm not gonna quit.
What's the best part of driving? I mean, other than winning, obviously.
I was gonna say winning.
My best moment of driving is anytime it comes down to me and my brother or one of me and my friends, when you get down to the end knowing you beat everybody else.
So when you destroy a friend's hopes and dreams, that's...
Oh, it's the best.
By the end, most cars are worse for wear. Brooke comes in third place, so she doesn't walk away empty-handed.
Let's present her $50 bill. We start off back up.
All over Western Pennsylvania, from small towns like this to the largest city, Pittsburgh, people face the same struggles as beleaguered, deindustrialized areas across the country. How do you move into the future and hold on to what you love about the past? There are probably no easy answers. Things will change. They are changing. But for now, let's just wreck some cars.